So your blood pressure should be dropped by now. You know, studies actually do show that when you see, you know, videos and trees and nature and hear music, that your blood pressure does drop. You know, so, and I got to thinking as we were listening to all of this beautiful, you know, music and readings and things, where there are times when your mind couldn't focus and it goes someplace else and it's like, okay, hurry up, what's next, what's next? And that's kind of what I'm talking about today. There's this idea of our heads going faster than our present moment is. Does that make sense? That in the present moment is where God is, and when all we're chattering and chattering in our head, we're able to see every beautiful thing that there is. It's really important that we remember that. We kind of look at ourselves when it comes to relaxing, you know, because there's too many of us, I would say maybe all of us, that can't find the calm peace of their soul most of the time, you know. And I want to talk a little bit about that today. I want to talk about there's too many of us who don't laugh as often as we should. Do you think that's true? That don't sleep as well as we should? Who don't whistle as we walk? Who don't get excited about life? So I want to talk a little bit about what that is, what's happening to us. And what I know, and I'm going to use the word anxiety, I'm going to talk about that a little bit today, and talk about it robbing us of our silence and our calm and our ability to know that place within, to know that God self, that place of silence, that stillness that Stacy talked about. You are stillness, aren't you? Isn't that funny? Because I had Stacy read that reading on stillness, and her covenant word is stillness. And I think that's so true, you know, about you too. So this talk is about recognizing the anxiety in you. You know, so I want you to kind of think about yourself. And then it's about going deeper and finding what I'm going to call your Sabbath. Finding your Sabbath, which is your inner calm, your well-being. Because I believe, I really do, that that's your norm. I believe that we have a well-being, a bubbling up of feel-good is in us. And that's our default. Does it mean we don't feel that we should feel that way all the time? Maybe not, but it's where we should default to, and I do believe that. So the book that I'm reading is called Sabbath, Finding Rest, Renewal, and Delight in Our Lives. And it's by Wayne Mueller. And he actually has written a lot of really good books. Then How Shall We Live is one of the famous, and I've used that a lot. So what he says is that anxiety first is this floating sense of dread. And it comes and it goes in us sometimes. It's almost like you know something bad's going to happen. There's just something that can happen. He says, anxiety says, what if? You know, what if this happens? What if that happens? You know, your head is going a mile a minute. It creates doom and gloom. And it takes away our sleep, our well-being, and our energy. It sucks the energy right out of us. Makes our heart pound, makes our eyes twitch. Have you ever had your eyes start to twitch? I say that because mine does sometimes. Makes our head ache, right? I mean, really, anxiety sucks. And we've all had it, you know? And here, in a given year, this is interesting, 50 million of us Americans will feel the effects of a panic attack, phobia, or another anxiety disorder. 50 million in a year. I'm going to tell you a little information about it. Anxiety disorders are the #1 health problem among women, and they're second only to men. Alcohol and drug abuse is the first. I have a 13-year-old grandson who the school called and said he was having a panic attack. So my daughter went to the school to pick him up, and she said, that's very common. That surprised the heck out of me. It's very common for the kids in that junior high to have panic attacks, right? The United States is the most anxious nation in the world. Other countries have 1/5 of what Americans experience. Why? Why is it in America that we have so much anxiety? Researchers say that things have changed so fast in the last 30 years, more than the previous 300 years. So, and we're living in this time. Changes and new threats are heard every few seconds. We turn on the TV. We have it's funny, as we were listening in the meditation, Julie was talking, and my watch goes off and it's giving me a message. You know, get your phone or get up and move. It tells me something all the time. We're getting information all the time. You know, we don't have any time to process our own crisis without another one coming. Just turn the TV on and you hear one crisis after another. You know, in addition to change, we move faster than ever before. It wasn't long ago when we were traveling by horse or by camel, right? You know, I mean, I never traveled by camel or by horse, but you know, maybe you did. But now we jet set through, you know, through the whole world, and we see what's happening fast. Michael Singer, and if you've ever read him before, he's got a book called The Untethered Soul. And I love what he says. He says, we all live with a roommate. We all live with a roommate who is constantly talking to us and judging us and doesn't shut up and criticizes us. And it won't go away. And even if we try to get it to go away, it won't. It's not easy to kick out because it lives in our head. Do you understand what I'm saying? We got a voice in our head, and that is another reason that we have so much anxiety. So much anxiety. So how do people like us, you and me, find calm in the world? How do we find that calm? And the truth is, the number one is we got to choose it. We've got to decide that we want to live differently. We can go about our lives just like we're doing, come to church once in a while, or we can decide that we don't want to live this way, that we want to have that well-being, that we want to get up and feel and default at that well-being. How important that is. You know, we have to choose. Now, some people thrive in the chaos. I've got a son-in-law, he loves it. Every time there's chaos going around, he invites more people over, more people, you know, because he lives in that, and it's fine if that's the way he wants to live. I have a feeling that most of you don't want to live that way. That you have the idea that peace and quiet and calm is part of who you are. See, I don't want my days filled with a lot of chaos. I like a lot of people around at certain times, and I like a lot of quiet too, you know. I choose to live my life with inspiration and beauty and calm when I can. And I know that I have to practice. And I know that I have to live deeply. So I want to talk about living deeply a little bit. It said that when we can live deep enough, that we begin to see the truth in everything. And by truth, what do I mean? I mean God. I mean the divine. I mean love in everything. In the music, in the flowers, in the acts of kindness. We see God. We see truth in each other when we live deep. And if we are really deep, we see God or truth in the pain and in the difficulty of life. That's true calm, is when you can see it even through. It's like Judy's reading about the little painting, you know, in the bird nest. You see it all, but there it is, the peace, see? But the challenge is that we live on the surface. We live these busy lives and we forget to go deeper into the waters. I put this picture, that's a good one too. See, the bottom is kind of is deep. Well, let's see, the bottom is deep. You're supposed to go deep, deep, deep. And then on the top, all the waves are crashing each other and there's, you know, chaos going on. But as we sink in and we feel the stillness and go deeper and deeper, we find that calm peace of the soul. Wayne Miller says that we find our Sabbath. He says that we find rest, renewal, and delight in our lives. You know? And he's not just talking about Sunday, Sabbath Sunday. He's talking about that still small voice in us that's always there. And that's the source of our calmness and our silence. You know, all of us need to come apart and rest for a while. We all need to do that. We all need to breathe. We all need to be able to breathe. So I'm talking about slowing down your body and nourishing your heart and your soul. It's about surrendering all of the clutter in your head, the voice in your head, and just breathing, and just breathing, and just breathing. Watch your breathing. That's all you have to do. That's as easy as it gets. Watch your breathing. Thomas Merton said that we have too many demands on our life. Wait, that's so true, you know? And he says that our frenzy neutralizes our work for peace when we have so much going on. That this frenzy blinds us and robs us of the calm peace of our soul. You know, I read somewhere, and I tried to find it. I've been reading a lot, and I always go back, and I try to remember where I found it, and I looked this morning, and I couldn't. But it was something about the Native Americans, when they saw the white people come over, that they called them a name, and there was a certain name for them, but it turned out the name was something like the non-breathers. Oh, they didn't breathe, right? Because they were always busy doing stuff where they knew how to take a moment, sit back, and breathe. So we were known as the non-breathers. Wayne Mueller says that in the busyness of our life, that we forgot the rhythm of rest. Just like the rest of nature takes a rhythm. There's a rhythm between doing and resting. There's a rhythm and a nature in our life too, and we don't listen. The heart rests after each beat. The lungs rest after we exhale and we inhale. See, in our culture we don't value this idea of resting, and so we've lost the power of light and God and love in our life. We miss the quiet that gives us the wisdom. See, in one of the readings that was before us, it talked about the intelligence being in this quiet. That's important to know that this quiet that is within you isn't this sluggish kind of boring nothingness. It's a dynamic energy filled with love, filled with intelligence. And when we go there, we know what to do. We know what to do. When I'm too busy, I'll tell you, I accomplish a lot less. Does that make sense? Do you do that too, when you get so busy and you're scattered? And the moment that I step back, go for a walk, go to my favorite park, the answers come. So important to step away for a little while. You know, let your heart, let the intelligence inside of you, which is your stillness, take over. When we remember the Sabbath that restores our souls, we act from that deep place within. Sabbath time doesn't require us to change anything. You guys, we don't have to change anything that we do. It just reminds us that we have to slow down a little bit. We have to breathe. We can still get the bills paid. We can still do other things, but we do need to spend some time in nature, spend some time with music, spend some time doing whatever fills your heart. It's finding a quiet spot. It's finding that kingdom of heaven within that Jesus talked about. Eckhart Tolle says that the stillness that we're talking about today is who you are. It's your essential nature. Just remember that. Try to go really deep and try to imagine that you are the stillness. You aren't who's sitting here right now in this body, this form. You're the one behind the body watching it. That's who you are. And when you go deep enough, you can feel it. You can actually feel it. It's a warmth, and it feels really good. Stillness is the inner space or the awareness that is disguised as us, is what Tolle says. We're just disguised as little human beings, but we are the stillness of love, manifested out as each and every one of you. You are manifested as light, as love. See? And when we lose touch with that, we lose touch with ourselves. We lose touch with who we are when we don't go deep enough. That's what Jesus called the I am. This is where all the solutions are found in your life. If you have a question right now, you have anxiety, you have anything going on in your life, find that stillness. That's where the answers are. The stillness is the energy from where you came from and from where you will go. That's the stillness. That's the power of what we're talking about today. You might just hear this for a few minutes today, hear a little bit of music and stuff, but this is powerful stuff, you guys. No matter what's going on in the world, it'll all be gone in 100 years, right? We're not going to be sitting here listening to Trump and politics and everybody. You know, we're not going to be hearing that all the time. It's going to be gone. We don't need to concern ourselves with everything of this world. Doesn't mean we don't have to, but we don't have to dwell on it. We can go back into the depths of who we are and know our well-being. That's what you should get out of this. See? That the stillness is this beautiful dynamic energy that you are. Don't close off that energy. Don't close off that energy by getting in your head. Open your heart. Feel the stillness. Feel the stillness. So the bottom line, relax. Relax now. Create time for your Sabbath. Feel your own inner stillness. So as I close, please say with me, calm in my heart, calm in my family, calm in my community, and calm in this world. Thank you.